जी प्रभु।
So I welcome all of you to this session where we'll be discussing the next chapter of Bhagavad Gita in our series of Bhagavad Gita discussions. And today we'll continue our discussion. We already discussed the first, second, and third chapter. In the first chapter, we have seen that how Arjuna in the battlefield became morose because of his relatives were in front of him ready to fight and he doesn't want to kill them. So this is how the Bhagavad Gita started. And then finally in 2.7, that is in second chapter, Arjuna finally decides that he will surrender to Krishna and make him his guru. And then finally now Krishna has started instructing. So till now Krishna has instructed him on the platform of Jnana, where he is trying to give him some knowledge that you are not this actually body, you are a spirit soul, and you have to work out according to the dictates of society. Now, how to work, it depends on the knowledge which you have. So this section, now in this chapter, Lord Krishna will give him that knowledge specifically how to work as a Kshatriya and how to actually behave in the society as Kshatriya. And this is how the chapter 4 starts. The chapter 4 starts with this assumption that we already know the previous 3 chapters, and now we want to delve more deeply into this topic. So we'll first do Mangalacharan, a short Mangalacharan in which we will praise the Lord and his devotees, and then we'll start our session. So Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshtarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So chapter 4 is entitled as Divya Gyan or transcendental knowledge. Divya Gyan can also be said as divine knowledge. So this knowledge is divine because of two reasons. One, it is coming from the mouth of Lord Shri Krishna, who is the divinity personified. And second reason is that this gives us knowledge about the divine beings and the divine activities of Lord and his devotees. That's why it is divine knowledge. So in this world, if we want to divide all the knowledge, we can grossly divide it into two parts. One is known as Paravidya and another part is Aparavidya. And we know, even living in this life, that knowledge is very important. If you want to become someone in life, you have to have that particular domain of knowledge which you have mastered. If you want to become a doctor, then you will have to have that specific knowledge. You want to become any professional, you should have that particular knowledge. That's why George Bernard Shaw said very famously that beware of false knowledge. It is more dangerous than ignorance. Many times we say ignorance is bliss. In a way, ignorance is bliss because you are not aware. And when you are not aware, then you keep on doing wrong things also, and you don't know the repercussions of them. But actually, false knowledge is more dangerous because you have that false belief that, okay, I know everything and I know perfectly. Then why to know more about something or why to hear someone? Many times this happens to people who are puffed up of their knowledge and they don't want to listen to the higher knowledge, the spiritual knowledge. They say that we know everything. So suppose for an example, we take that some small boy He, from his childhood, he wants to become doctor. And then he sees one ad in the newspaper that doctor bane 30 din mein, become doctor in 30 days. And because he is not very qualified, educated enough, he thinks that, okay, this is the best way to become doctor. Why to waste so much time of life, 5.5 years to get an MBBS? Why not become doctor in 30 days? But we know that this is not a bona fide way of becoming doctor. If you join such institute, finally you may get degrees. Like there are so many fraud engineering colleges also all around India. So many fraud medical colleges are also there. And if you get these fraud degrees, you may practice for some time, but that knowledge is not perfect. And someday you will make a big blunder. And then they will say that you are a quack. You are not a right doctor because you don't have trained yourself from a bona fide university. So we have a bona fide university system to impart that knowledge, like famous universities like Mumbai University, the University of Oxford. There are specific institutes which train people. Somebody, if he wants to become IPS or IAS, he has to train himself in that particular institute, and he has to pass through all the exams. Then only he is a bona fide person to practice. So even in material knowledge, we have institutes which award degrees, and there are systems of check and balances to know that whether you are actually following properly everything or not. But what happens when it comes to spiritual knowledge? In spiritual knowledge, everybody says that I know everything. Why to follow someone? Or else we start blindly following someone who influences us with his sweet words, maybe his long row of following, or maybe his opulences. And we think that, okay, this is the right person because so many politicians, so many educated so-called people, influencers of society, they are following him. And then comes the role of fake gurus. So these all finally they turn out to be fake gurus over time. In next 10, 15, 20 years, they are behind the bars, and people who are following them are confused that, oh, we were thinking that he's a bona fide person, but he is a quack. Same way, like you are taking a treatment from a quack, and finally when you become serious, you realize that he doesn't know actually the real knowledge. So trust is breached. Why this trust is breached? Why so many fake gurus are there? This is what we are trying to find answer today, because Lord will give this answer very categorically, that why this trust is breached again and again. Why so many fake gurus they appear every day in India? Why there are people who claim themselves to be God and there are thousands of educated people following them? Because we don't know bona fide way to check whether and how to follow and whom to follow. So like in last 3 sessions, we have decided that we will try to understand this world through paradigm of Bhagavad Gita, and we will use it as a key to understand and know what is going around us. So there are so many scriptures involved, and they all impart very good knowledge how to live our life. We are focusing mainly on Bhagavad Gita and how to find out that true knowledge which we all are searching. So that specific Bhagavad Gita knowledge is very important for us to know. Now, chapter 3, we have already discussed that how lust is the thing which is covering our knowledge, and we are not able to find out the reality of life because of false attachments. And then Lord Krishna actually guided us that Nishkam Karma is the way to go forward. But then, if you want to do Nishkam Karma or Buddhi Yoga, you need some Buddhi. And that Buddhi is what Lord is going to talk about today. So, like I always say, Bhagavad Gita is very structured text. In this section also, we can see that from section 1 to section 5, we can divide this 42 shlokas into different parts where Lord is talking specifically about some key topic or the central theme. The first 10 shlokas, they talk about the transcendental knowledge about Lord Krishna. Then he talks about how to apply this knowledge. And then he will explain karma on the platform of jnana. This is a very technical section. We'll try to understand it today. And then how and what is the role of sacrifice in acquiring this particular knowledge. And finally, conclusion. So normally we think that if someone wants to acquire knowledge, he should have high IQ, and he should be able to understand things, express things well in writing and speaking. And then if he has done that, he has got that particular knowledge. This is very true for material knowledge. But when we talk about spiritual knowledge, actually your character is the key point which decides whether you will be able to acquire that knowledge and assimilate it or not. Here, caliber is not important. In material knowledge, caliber is important, your IQ is important, your grasping power is important. But in spiritual knowledge, your character is important. That's why Lord will focus very much on the character building of person who wants to acquire this spiritual knowledge. And this is second fallacy which is happening in India. People have knowledge, they know the shlokas well, they can recite by heart them, and very fluently they can speak about them. But are they following it in their own life? That is most important, because these shlokas are not only to be by hearted, they are to be followed with heart. And here comes the role of development of character or sacrifice, which we'll be focusing and trying to understand. So initial 10 shlokas, what Krishna is trying to help us, he is saying that I'm giving you this knowledge, but how this knowledge has actually arrived, he gives a chronology. So first two shlokas are very important, very famous shlokas of Bhagavad Gita, where Lord is saying that imam vivasvate yogam prokta van aham avyayam vivasyan manve praha manuriksha vakuve bravit. एवं परंपरा प्राप्तम इदम राज ऋषियो विदु स कालिने हमहता योगो नष्टः परम तपः. So what Lord is saying, that actually this knowledge which I am going to give you, I have already given this knowledge to Sun God. And first education I have given to Sun God. How to give any education? This is also thing which we should actually contemplate on. It is not knowledge randomly you distribute some books and some people start reading and by hearting and saying that okay, we believe in this book, and then that book becomes the most important book of that era. Actually, if you want to give any knowledge, you have to create a culture. You have to create a culture where everybody can practice that knowledge. And how that culture can be created? That culture can only be created if the top people of the society, they start following that knowledge, because they decide the culture and milieu of the society. So we see that olden times there was a concept of Raj Rishis. Raj Rishis were people who were kingly people having kingly responsibilities, but they were like a ascetic in their behavior and thinking. Like Janak Maharaj is very good example of Raj Rishi. Same way is Sun God. Sun is king of all the planets. And when the king of all planets get this knowledge, he will try to distribute this knowledge. So if you see the timeline of Bhagavad Gita, actually we think that Bhagavad Gita was spoken just 5,000 years back. But actually Bhagavad Gita was spoken crores of years back also, because it is to be understood. We will be discussing in further sessions how the universal time runs in 4 yugas cycle, and when actually Vivaswan comes and how Krishna gives him that knowledge. So basically, every time Krishna gives this knowledge to many people, and one of the important person is Vivaswan. And there are other people also whom this knowledge is given, or it travels in a sort of disciplic succession. So we see that even in a Vavasvat Manvantar, there will be different yugas, and of that, the 28th Sakti Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and Kal Yuga cycle, this knowledge will be given. So We are so fortunate to be born in this particular time and age when this knowledge is available to us. So if we talk about Maharaj Ikshvaku, he was some 20 lakh years ago, and Vivaswan was at least, if we can calculate, some 12 crores years ago, and 5,000 years ago to Arjuna. So now question arises, why again this knowledge is being given to Arjuna? Because Lord says that over the time, this knowledge actually got disturbed, and that proper disciplic succession was lost. Sakalene hamata yogo nashta param tapa. So with the time influence, that knowledge slowly disappeared. And that's why this happened, and this knowledge I have to give to you again. Now Arjuna has a doubt. Arjuna says that how it can happen like that. And there is one question in Arjuna's mind. Okay, there are so many people around. Why you are giving this knowledge only to me? What is my specific qualification? And this shloka actually applies to all of us who wants to understand Bhagavad Gita. That what is our qualification? Why Krishna will give this knowledge to me? So this knowledge is just not buying a book and reading it. This knowledge is to be assimilated. Who can assimilate this knowledge? Lord gives a specific qualification. He says that Bhakto sime sakha cheti rahasyam ridat uttamam. So I will reveal this mysterious knowledge, this uttam knowledge, the best knowledge, this benefit of Bhagavad Gita to whom? Who is Bhakto sime sakha cheti. You are my devotee and you are my friend. So if we are devotee of Lord Krishna and we develop some relationship of friendship or any other rasa with Krishna, then Krishna will reveal this knowledge to us. So what is the qualification of Arjuna to receive this knowledge? He is Bhakto Sime Sakha Cheti. He is Bhakta and he is a Sakha of Krishna. Now what happened eventually over the time, because this knowledge gets lost due to effect of time, so Lord Krishna tries to make a disciplic system so that this knowledge reaches to us in unadulterated form. So if you read Padma Puran, there they quote that there are bona fide Vaishnava sampradayas through which this knowledge is being carried. Now, when we talk about bona fide sampradayas, they are like universities. Like we say that if you go and study in Cambridge University, you will get a bona fide knowledge because the professors over there have been taught by people who were bona fide professors, and so on and so forth, and you can reach up to opening of that university. Same way, this is disciplic succession. The four main disciplic succession were started by Lord Brahma, Lakshmi ji, Shiv Ji, and four Kumaras. And the disciplic succession in which we are trying to understand Bhagavad Gita is this Brahma Madhya God Sampradaya, the first picture which you can see, the Lord Brahma to Madhvacharya. So this is a Brahma Madhya God Sampradaya in which we are trying to understand Bhagavad Gita. And if we try to understand it in Bhagavad Gita, before the chapter 1 starts, on that page, Srila Prabhupada has given this whole disciplic succession from Krishna. It starts and it mentions all the main people who were there in the disciplic line. And if we count the main people, then Srila Prabhupada is 32nd person in the disciplic succession who has received this unadulterated knowledge from his Guru Maharaj, who is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. And his guru was Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, and his guru was Bhakti Vinod Thakur Maharaj, and so on and so forth. And from there you can reach up to Lord Shri Krishna. You can trace this properly and with authenticity. And this is the most important aspect of any Guru Shish Parampara or disciplic succession. If you want to understand Bhagavad Gita from anyone, any person, just with folded hand, go to him and ask him who is your Guru Maharaj and who was his Guru Maharaj, and try to trace that Guru Shish Parampara, whether it starts from Lord Krishna or not. Why we are saying this? Because this knowledge was initially given by Lord Krishna himself, and any connection to him is a bona fide way to understand this knowledge. Any way through which this knowledge without any change reaches to us is the right way to understand this knowledge. A nice analogy to understand it is like we want to charge our mobile phone. We connect it to some socket, power socket, and we see that okay, it is getting charged. Why it is getting charged? Because that socket is connected to some bona fide electrical system from powerhouse up to your home, and that wire is not broken in midway. If this wire is broken, transformers are down, or powerhouse is off, then this phone will not charge. The same way, like to charge your phone, you should have an uninterrupted connection with the powerhouse. If you want to understand this disciplic knowledge, you should have uninterrupted connection with the Guru Shishya Parampara or disciplic succession. This disciplic succession, if it is not changing the message, then we know that whatever Lord Krishna has spoken, same thing is being told to us without any change. Why? Because if we want to understand Bhagavad Gita, there is only one opinion which matters, and that is the opinion of Lord Sri Krishna. We cannot concoct our own ways and means to explain things on our whims and fancies, because we want to understand Bhagavad Gita as it is. That's why Srila Prabhupada named his Bhagavad Gita as Bhagavad Gita as it is, or Bhagavad Gita Yatharoop. Yatharoop means as it is, as it was spoken by Lord Sri Krishna. It is just like a postman. Lord actually gives this knowledge, and that knowledge is sort of an envelope. And this envelope is delivered to us through Srila Prabhupada. So when we open this Bhagavad Gita, what we are doing? Actually, we are so fortunate that we are getting the same knowledge which was spoken by Lord Sri Krishna. Just like a postman arrives at our doorstep and gives us one envelope which was sent to us by one of our friend, and he has not changed the letters, he has not changed the message, he has given to us as it is. When we open that envelope, we actually get the same message which was given to us by our friend. Same way, when we open this Bhagavad Gita, because it is an uninterrupted Guru Shish Parampara, we get the same knowledge. And how we know that we get the same knowledge? In Bhagavad Gita, you can see every word meaning is there, transliteration is there. You can check every shloka if there is any meaning which has been inserted into it. It is never like that. Second thing, how we know? There are so many Bhagavad Gita commentaries. More than 500 Bhagavad Gita commentaries are available in India right now. But then see, information is not enough. Transformation should be there. Information should lead to some transformation, some change. And if we see, this is the specific edition or type or commentary of Bhagavad Gita which has led to transformation of crores of lives. How it is? Because it is a bona fide knowledge. Like any medicine which is a bona fide will have its effect. But then Arjuna has one doubt. Okay, you are my contemporary almost. Then how I can understand that you have given this knowledge crores of years back to sun god Vivaswan? How it can happen? Aparam bhavto janma param janma vivasvata. So how I know? How I know that you are saying truth? Now, why Arjuna is asking this doubt? Arjuna is asking this doubt because he doesn't have any doubt. He is a pure devotee. He is asking on our behalf. He is asking on the behalf of all Kali Yuga people who will have this doubt that ये तो कहानी बना दी, किसी का नाम कहीं भी बोल दो, उससे क्या होता है? Then Lord Krishna very specifically answers that, and beautiful answer. He says, "Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tav Arjuna." Arjun, we have all lived so many lives. But what is the difference? Your life and my life. The difference is that I remember each one of them and you have forgotten each one of them. That is the difference. So I have given this knowledge to Vivaswan. I remember it because I am transcendental. I appear to take birth, but actually I never take birth. I just appear. That's why we call avatar. While the normal jivas, they take birth and they die. And when they take rebirth, then they forget whatever they have learned. That's why Lord says that Ajo api sannavyayatma bhutanam ishwaropi san prakritim swam adhishtaya sambhavai atma mayaya. The difference between your appearance and Lord's appearance is, Lord says that it is Maya which is leading to your appearance again and again. Your karmas are leading to your again rebirth. I appear by my free sweet will. I don't appear because of some compulsion. So that is the basis, the specific knowledge which we all should have, that Lord is avyaya, Lord's body is actually imperishable. So this is the difference between a Krishna and conditioned living entity. Krishna is eternal. He always remember past, present, and future. We are also eternal, but we forget. We are eternal at the platform of soul, but Krishna's body is transcendental. So Krishna appears by his own free sweet will. If he wants to appear, he will appear. If he doesn't want to appear, he will not appear. So this is the difference between Krishna and conditioned entity. That's why Krishna is known as Advaita. His body and his self, that is soul, is not non-different, while our gross body and our soul is different. And then comes the section of two most celebrated verses of whole Bhagavad Gita. Almost everyone in India knows these verses. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam srajami. Now Lord says that, okay, I am independent. I have my own sweet will why and when I want to appear. But why I appear? Lord says the reason. Yada yada hi dharmasya. When and whenever and wherever there is some deterioration in the religion, then Lord will incarnate. Now, very specifically, we have to understand the word Srajami. Srajami means Lord is not created like Jivas are created. Srajami means manifestation. So Sarjami means Lord manifests himself by his own free, sweet will. And this manifestation can come in different forms. They can come either in the form of Swayam Bhagavan Shri Krishna, like he comes once in a day of Brahma, or they are just like various avatars. So Lord can have different avatars. This is a very technical part. I don't want to go deep into it, but at least for our sake of understanding, that there are Purush avatar, there are Leela avatar, there are Guna avatar, Manvantar avatar, Yuga avatar, Shaktyavesh avatar. So there are different avatars through which Lord Krishna manifests himself time and again. And like I said, it is a very complex topic. If you want to know more about it, read Chaitanya Charitamrita. There is a vast section there which describes, there are various Swayam Rupas of Lord Shri Krishna, Tadekatma Rupa, Avesh Rupa, Prabhav Vilas Rupas. So there are so many things of Lord Krishna which we want to understand in depth. We can refer to all these sections in Chaitanya Charitamrita. But specifically, when Lord comes, when there is decline in the religion, when there is predominant rise in the irreligion. But why will Lord appear? Lord appear to annihilate the demons and to deliver the devotees. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkratam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So Lord will come to annihilate the demons and to protect the devotees. Now question arises, is very important to annihilate the demons? Actually not, because Lord has many other agencies through which Lord can do that. And there is no specific reason why Lord should come to annihilate the demons. But specifically Lord comes because he wants to do paritranaya sadhunam. Sadhunam means people who are devotees of Lord. And when they are in any danger or they are feeling separation from Lord, then Lord comes to give them company. Like when Draupadi Maharani calls for Lord, Lord supplies him unlimited cloth. When Shabri is waiting for Lord Sri Ram for so many years, then Lord fulfills her desire. So Lord comes here to reciprocate with his sweet devotees. But then we know, if we read Bhagavad Gita 14th chapter, then specifically Lord says that my devotees are beyond all the gunas, they are already liberated. Then why Lord is saying paritranaya sadhunam when they are already liberated? So the acharyas, they explain that actually Lord wants to deliver them from the pain of separation which they are feeling in their heart, because Lord is not in front of them. So if someone asks you what is the innermost in the core of Lord's heart, what is the reason why he comes again and again? There is only one reason. He comes again and again just to reciprocate with his pure devotees. So if you want to summarize this very important shloka, then prime purpose of Lord is to satisfy the unalloyed devotees. And there are other purposes also, to deliver the pious people, to annihilate the miscreants. Actually, to annihilate the miscreant is not very important aspect, because Lord can do it through various agencies which are available to him. That's why, again to emphasize this point, Lord says that Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tatvata taktyadeham punarjanma neti mameti so Arjuna. So Lord says that I am divya. My appearance, Janma is also divya, like we understood it. And even his karma is divya. Many times people misunderstand that Lord, when he comes to this earth, he is also bound like a normal person in the law of karma, and he has to suffer for law of karma. And this is very wrong understanding. Lord says that Janma karma chame divyam. So that is the difference. When we do any activity, it is known as karma. And when Lord is doing any activity, technically it is known as Leela. Leela means it is free will of Lord. He is not bound by anything. So this is very specific way which we should understand. An example which we can take is, there are people who have done something wrong and then they are put in jail, and then they are prisoners for so many years. They are in jail, and someday those prisoners, they see that lot of commotion is there in the prison, and then they hear that okay, the big minister or king is coming to the prison visit. And what they think, because they have very small mentality, they think that okay, he has also done something wrong, that's why he has come, and now he will be put in jail. But actually it is not so. Why he is coming? He is coming just because of his own sweet will. So same way, when we are suffering in this birth and death cycle, and then Lord comes here, and then we see him, and then we think that okay, he has also taken birth, he has also disappeared, means he is also under law of karma. Actually he is not under law of karma. Whatever we are doing, we are actually putting us in ourselves more into this entanglement of law of karma. While when Lord comes, and when we understand Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tatvata, means when we understand properly why Lord comes and what is his duty, then we are also free from this Janma and karma. So when Lord can free us from Janma and karma, then how he can be under Janma and karma? This is a very specific way to understand. That's why Brahma Samhita actually, 5th chapter, starts with a shloka, Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchid Ananda Vigraha, Anadir Adir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. Anadir Adir Govinda. Lord is primeval. He is the first person, and he is not bound by anything. So what is the perfection? Perfection is that rather than wasting time discussing whether Lord is under this law of karma or not, we should try to understand how to come out of this karma cycle. And that's what in 10th shloka Lord specifically tells. That Vitarag Bhaya Krodha Manmaya Mamu Pashrita Bahavo Jnana Tapsa Puta Madbhava Magata. So Lord is sort of advertising about himself. Bahuvo jnana tapsa puta mad bhavam agata. So many people in all these years, they have liberated themselves just by knowing about me. And if you also categorically properly know about me, you will also be liberated. This is what is known as puta mad bhavam agata. So what we have to do? We have to absorb ourselves in trying to know about God. This Lord has already told in second chapter also. Dukheshu udvigna mana sukheshu vigataspara veet rag bhaya krodha sthir dhir mune ruchyate. So this veet rag and bhay, krodha, veet means to give up. Rag, bhay and krodh. We have to give up three things. And this is very important teaching of Bhagavad Gita, which keeps on repeating again and again. And what is that? Rag, bhay, and krodha. Rag means attachment, bhay means fear, krodh means anger. Why and how we can overcome, and what is the origin of these three problems? The always the krodha or anger is about past, that I couldn't achieve something. Always the bhaya or fear is about future, and what we have right now, we are attached to it. That is known as technically rag. So if we want to be Veet Rag Bhaya Krodha, means we have to actually establish our consciousness beyond these Rag, Bhaya and Krodha. So we have to always live in this type of watch, which is now watch. Always we have to think right now what I can do specifically. So till now, Lord has given information about himself. Lord has given information about jivas. Lord has given information about how he appears in this world and what is his specific actually activities. Now in section 2 from 11 to 15, he is actually telling us how to apply this specific knowledge. How to apply this knowledge in one's life. And for which we have to understand a very reciprocative nature of Lord. And what is that? Ye yathamam prapadyante tam sathayo bhajamyaham mam vartamanu avartante manushya parth sarvasha. So this 4.11, what Lord is actually refuting? Many time in India people say कि कुछ भी करो आखिरी में तो भगवान के पास ही पहुंच जाते हैं. कोई भी पाथ लो आप आखिरी में भगवान के पास पहुंच जाओगे. This is very wrong understanding. Lord clearly and categorically says, ये यथामाम प्रपद्यन्ते ताम तथैव भजामि. जो मेरे भक्ति करेगा वो मेरे पास आएगा. मैं एक रेसिप्रोकेटिव भगवान हूँ. Lord is a reciprocative person. So actually everyone is equal in God's eye, but God is not equal in everyone's eye. भगवान तो सबको एक सा देख रहे हैं, लेकिन हर कोई भगवान को एक सा नहीं देख रहा है. कोई सोच रहा है कि हम डेमीगॉड्स के थ्रू भी भगवान के पास चले जाएंगे. इसीलिए भगवान को समझने के there are three levels. And what are these three levels? The Brahma, Paramatma and Bhagwan. Brahma means just Lord is there in impersonal aspect. Paramatma is a localized aspect of Lord, whether he is situated in some atoms, whether he is situated in someone as a super soul. And Bhagwan is properly localized personal aspect of Lord Shri Krishna. So there are various ways of understanding Lord, and the way you want to approach Lord, Lord will reciprocate. So if someone will approach Lord and say that you are impersonal, then what Lord will say? He say, yes, I am impersonal. For you, I am impersonal. If someone approaches Lord and say you are like Paramatma, Lord will say, okay, I am like Paramatma. If someone approaches Lord and says you are like Bhagwan, you are a localized aspect, I want to enjoy with you in your kingdom, then that is also right. So everything is right, but these are different manifestations and different understandings or levels of realization. So it depends on everybody's realization how he will understand any particular aspect of God. So what is the role of demigods here? Ye yathamam prapadyante. So if we go to demigods, then what will happen to you? So if we go to demigods, then your wishes will be fulfilled, but you will not get the ultimate knowledge. So Shipram hi manushya loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. If you approach demigods or devtas, your wishes will be fulfilled very fast. Lord may take some time to fulfill your wishes. But then what is the problem? You will be entangled here only. You will not go beyond this material existence. So why Krishna is taking time? Krishna takes time because he wants to purify our actually understanding. He wants to purify our heart. He doesn't want to fulfill each and every activity. And even when demigods are giving us some boons, they are actually finally sanctioned by Lord himself, then only they are given. And that's why we see that whenever there are some issues, problems in the cosmic realm, then they all approach Lord Vishnu and praise to him for to help. Why? Because he is the ultimate controller. So now question arises that, okay, we have understood that Lord has a reciprocative nature and that's why he behaves like that. But then we know that Gyan and Bhakti gives liberation, but karma will lead to bondage. So isn't it unequal? Somebody is trying to follow karma, he will be entangled more and more, and somebody who is trying to follow Bhakti and Jnana will be liberated. Is Lord unequal? No, Lord is not unequal. Even in karma, he has given that escape route and what we call as karma yoga or nishkam karma yoga. But then, if we see in the society, one more question which arises again and again, and actually it is blamed to Bhagavad Gita and to Sanatan Dharma that there is very bad menace of caste system which is actually plaguing us. And it is very true also that if you go to some periphery remote areas, still caste system is very prevalent and people are being exploited because of that. But what is Lord's understanding of caste system? Let's understand. चतुर्वर्ण्य मया सृष्टम गुण कर्म विभागश तस्य कर्तारम अपि माम विद्य अकर्तारम अव्ययम. So what Lord is saying that actually chaturvarnya maya srishtam, I have made this system of casteism, but it is based on gun and karma. It is based on what? Gun and karma, not on birth. So Lord has made system to govern this society, but it was based on guna means the qualities and karma means the activities, or we can nowadays modern word we can call it as aptitude. So like a doctor's son can never become doctor uh, unless he clears exams. Same way, Brahmana's son cannot become Brahman just by virtue of his birth. He should actually have that specific guna and activity in him. And that is the understanding and proper understanding of casteism. So caste by birth is actually perversion of caste by birth. Caste is by worth. Caste is never by birth. Bhagavad Gita very specifically says that if you are worthy, then you will be called Brahmana or Kshatriya or Vaishya or Shudra. If you are not worthy, then you will be outcast. You will be out of these four castes also. So Lord is not only the doer, but he is non-doer also. This is a very paradoxical statement by Lord. But what he is saying specifically is that every living entity has some free will and he can exercise that free will. And whenever in time arises, the bigger things are being governed and controlled by Lord. So this is how Lord actually envisions the society. That there will be Shudras, Vaishyas, Kshatriya and Brahmanas, and these are all actually system based on guna and karma, not on birth, first thing. And secondly, all these four divisions, the purpose is only one, and that purpose is to liberate each one of them. So here comes the higher understanding of karma. So till now, Lord has already explained to us in chapter 3 about karma. But here he will give a higher understanding that if you add knowledge to your karma, then it becomes a karma, or that knowledge is now fructified. And when you do activity, you know that actually this activity is a inactivity technically, because you are not being bound by reactions. Now you are being freed by this reaction. So what we already know till now, that there is a specific way of understanding this knowledge, and that is through parampara. And If we just want to speculate about that knowledge, it will not help. What we will have to do, we will have to follow a specific way of thinking. That's why Lord says that Gahana Karmano Gati. To understand karma is not easy. So if we see specifically the third chapter, then again in this fourth chapter, he's talking about karma. Then fifth chapter, again, he will talk about karma, because karma is very important aspect for all the professionals. We are actually every day doing just karma. And here comes the last section of this chapter, the conclusion part. What Lord is saying, that now we understood that this knowledge is coming through disciplic succession. Now, if we want to tap into this knowledge, we will have to go to some living person who actually embodies this knowledge and who can impart this knowledge to us. And what is that person? That person is known as Guru. He can give you this knowledge. And Lord specifically says, Tat vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya updekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. So what we have to do, if we want to tap this knowledge, we will have to approach to a guru. Now, normally how people approach to guru? Either they approach a guru because of fashion, they approach guru because of big crowd which is around him, they approach a guru because he is very famous, very wealthy, or many big people are following him. But that is not the right way to approach guru. What is the right way to approach guru? Tat vidhi pranipatena. We have to approach guru in a pranipatena, means very submissive mood. And then what we have to do? Pariprashnena. We have to ask him questions. And just asking questions are not enough. Just paying obeisances is not enough. We have to do some specific seva to Guru. When we do these three things, first is pranipatena, means paying obeisances or respecting him. Second is pariprashnena, asking submissively your doubts about life's questions, and then serving him without any ulterior motive. When we do these three things, what will happen? Lord will give you updesh. He will give you that knowledge through that guru. Why and how that guru can give you knowledge? Because he is Jnaninas Tattva Darshana. He is a Tattva Darshi. He knows the Tattva. And what is the Tattva? We have just discussed. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvatah. So Tattva is about Lord. So he is a Tattvadarshi. Tattvadarshi means he can see the truth. The person who can see the truth can teach you the truth. But then we have to approach him in a manner, in a way that he will tell you truth. He may know the truth, but he will not reveal the truth to each and everyone. Why he will not reveal truth to each and everyone? Because we are not prepared to listen to that truth. So we have not to be just inquisitive, but we have to be submissive. Because actually devotion blossoms when there is a personal culture. Devotion is not something which can be done in a big crowd. Devotion can never happen in a very crowded place where everybody is pushing each other. Like we see in famous temples of India, there is hardly you get 5-second darshan and then you are kicked out and you spend so much money and efforts and time, and finally when you come out you feel cheated. You feel that, oh, I have come here and what I have got. There are people who are just asking money. There are people who are just behind me so that I follow them, their way. Nobody was actually telling me any truth. Nobody was giving me any knowledge. Now, when this happens to us, especially when we are young, then our reaction is that all this is nonsense. And we stop going to temples, we stop following the religion, we stop reading the religious literature because we feel that everybody is a cheater. Actually, it is not so. Not everybody is a cheater. Cheating happens when there is a personality cult. Teaching happens when there is a personal culture. So there is very short, small difference between cheating and teaching. And that is, if you are behind a person, if you are behind some crowded place, if you are behind just because everybody is going there, then you will be surely cheated because he doesn't have time for you to give you that knowledge. But person who can devote you time, who can tell you the truths because he has seen or experienced the truth, or he is repeating as it is what somebody realized soul has told, then actually that is the secret of progress. So satisfaction of self-realized spiritual master is the way to actually have realization. So there may be many non-bona fide path. We are also very educated people. We know that these are non-bona fide path. Sometimes we keep on following those non-bona fide path because of social reasons, because of our family traditions. But then we should sit, think, and question. We should question that what I am doing and following, is it worth following? Is it coming from a disciplic succession? Are they giving me any knowledge to improve my life? Are they giving me any values they are adding to my life and my understanding? If answers are no, then stop following those mental speculators. Stop following those dry argumentative peoples. Sometimes what happens, if we go through this type of phases, when we have visited some place and we were not treated properly, and then we either stop going there, or we think that okay, I have the book, now I will study myself and I will try to make out some meaning to it. So suppose someone enrolls himself in medical college and then he purchases all the books, and then he sits in one room and then he starts reading it, and then someday after 5.5 years, if he says that I have read all the books and that's why I become doctor, then what you will say, no, no, you have to do theory and practical both. So that's why, like in a mundane knowledge like engineering and medical, we need some person who personally teaches us, solves our doubt. Same way in spiritual knowledge, we need someone who can guide us. Blind following is to be condemned. It is really to be condemned, and this is what is happening maximum in India. Blindly we are just following someone. Let's ask question and let's see who can answer those questions to our satisfaction and based on the shastras, and try to follow them. If we do that way, definitely we will improve our understanding also and others understanding also. So now Lord gives us a very important concept, the thing which I have told you in the beginning only, that this is a very specific transcendental knowledge. It is not a role of some IQ or how much shlokas you can recite or remember. This is a knowledge which has to be realized. And how we realize such sort of knowledge? By doing sacrifice. Because actually our caliber doesn't decide that we know this spiritual knowledge or not. Our character will decide that we know this knowledge or not. Our assimilation of knowledge depends on the character, and character comes from sacrifice. That's why Lord says various ways of doing yagyas, and there are various ways of approaching God. Somebody may ask that Hinduism, so many things, karma yoga, gyan yoga, this yoga, that yoga, so many yagyas. Why? Why not only one way to reach God like there are in other religions? What is the answer? If you go to a medical store, you will see so many medicines, some antihypertensive, some diabetes medicine, some for cough and cold, some herbal remedies. Why so many medicines? Why not only one medicine? Because there are different people who need different type of medicines for the different ailments. Same way, different type of sacrifices, different type of understanding, because Lord wants that everyone should come under his fold. He doesn't want to leave anyone. So if you are a karmi, okay, do karma for me. If you want to acquire a lot of knowledge, okay, read about me. If you want to develop relationship with me, which is infallible relationship. So every day, so many varieties being created on YouTube. Every day, so many videos. Every minute, 500 hours videos are being uploaded just on YouTube. So why so many varieties? Because there are so many different type of people. There are so many different type of viewers. There are so many different type of patients. There are so many different type of customers. That's why so many different type of devotees. And Vedas are the way which gave us this escape plan. This escape plan will be different for different person. Somebody who is Karm Kandi, the Vedas will give him escape plan as per Karm Kand. Somebody who is a Jnani, Vedas will give Gyan Kand. Somebody who wants to worship, they will give Upasana Kand. So there are different ways, but actual final thing is all the plans of Vedas are just to get us out of this loop in which we are entangled right now. And what is this material entanglement? Because of our ignorance, we do pap or sinful activities, and because of reactions to sinful activity, we get next life. And we keep on traveling in this loop, keep on traveling in this loop. Only loophole of coming out from this loop is human life. And we all are human, thankfully, now, right now. We may become human next life, we may not. So at least make good use of this human life. Try to acquire this knowledge which Lord is trying to give us through Bhagavad Gita. And what is the checking method? Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. This is the filter mechanism. Anything you read anywhere, anyone tells you anything, you just check whether it is bona fide or not. Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Like if some MR comes to you and tells you, sir, madam, this is the new medicine which you can use on your patient, you will not believe on face value. You will read. This is new molecule, I will read about it. So what we see, we refer to the books, that is Shastras. We ask our seniors, those are sadhus. We try to understand who has developed that medicine. We talk to him on email or phone, and that researcher will tell us he's like guru. So even in mundane knowledge, we try to check that knowledge. But when it comes to spirituality, everyone and anyone is guru in India. It should not happen like that. Actually, bona fide person who have realized that knowledge, they are only entitled to give that knowledge to us. And then only we will actually develop that specific faith, because faith comes from knowledge. But knowledge should be bona fide. If knowledge is bona fide, then our faith will also be bona fide. That's why in the end, what Lord says in this chapter, and very specifically, he says that with sword in hand, intelligent man cuts through the binding knots of the reactionary work. So with this sword of knowledge in our hand now, that we have understood this chapter, we should contemplate how this knowledge is going to change my life, how I can apply this knowledge in my life. If we do that, then only we'll be able to assimilate this knowledge. So now, just to conclude and to get an overview of what all we discussed today, initially Lord gives knowledge, that from where this knowledge comes. Then he gives knowledge about his own birth. Then he gives knowledge about jivas. Then he tells us how to apply this knowledge. Then he says that how to do karma based on this specific knowledge. And then he says that how we can approach a bona fide guru to acquire this knowledge. And finally, what we have to do with this knowledge, we have to cut this binding knot which is keeping us over here in this material world for so many lives. And we have to escape from this material world to spiritual world. So to conclude, how to achieve this knowledge? We have to be submissive, surrender to Guru. We have to ask him relevant inquiries, and we have to serve him without any false prestige. And our only goal should be to please the Guru. If we please the Guru, then he will give us that faith which he is carrying in his heart. And when he gives us this faith, we will also be out of this raga, bhaya, and krodha. And when we are out of this raga, bhaya, and krodha, we are nishkam karmi. So we have cut this knot. So what is the practical application of this knowledge? Like I already discussed, just have knowing theory is not enough. Just knowing theory is GYAN. Now we have to put this theory into practice. And to put anything in practice requires two things. One is determination, and second is discrimination. Discrimination comes from swadhyaya, means reading. When we read again and again, we develop that discriminative attitude and understanding what is right for me, what is wrong for me. And when we know what is right for me and what is wrong for me, now I have to follow what is right for me. following that what is right is known as sadhana, and it requires determination. So knowledge, theory we can read from Bhagavad Gita, but to understand this determination and discrimination, we have to do sadhana practice, we have to do some meditative practice, and we have to regularly read again and again to actually understand and assimilate this knowledge. So if you want to recite or actually remember one shloka from this chapter, there are so many good shlokas in this chapter, but this specific shloka we should all remember, because this is the crux of all the knowledge. We will get knowledge through Guru, and this knowledge will come to us only when we are submissive. When we submissively inquire and serve the Guru, then we will get this knowledge. Thank you everyone for patiently listening. If there are any queries, questions, any comments, any corrections, you can always ask, most welcome. So this way we have completed one more chapter, and hope that we all will carry some aspect of it in our life, and we will try to follow it in our life. And if we specifically want to apply this part in our life, then seriously start thinking that who can be my guru and whom can I follow, who is coming in a bona fide Guru Shishya Parampara. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for coming, and I am thankful to each one of you who has actually taken out time, that too on Sunday. I know you all are very busy people practicing, but I am really honored that you took out this time, and I am really fortunate that I have this opportunity to serve you all through these sessions. Uh, Maybe next session we will try to keep offline. If people are interested, you can comment on the group what you want, online or offline. Nilima madam wants to comment something. Yes, madam.
No, just I want to say it is also called as Gyan, Karma and Sannyas Yoga. Na?
Sannyas Yoga. Yes, madam. Yes.
So Sannyas, how to explain?
Yes, actually, this question is the backbone of initial 5 chapters. Question is again and again coming in Arjuna's mind because he doesn't want to fight. He wants to take sannyas. Now Lord is trying to actually somehow motivate him that you should fight. So like we saw in 3rd chapter, the question started like this, that what should I do? Should I go to forest, become a yogi, or should I fight as a Kshatriya? Then Lord says in that whole chapter that no, you should fight. But then again, for fighting or to do karma, you need some knowledge. So Lord is giving this knowledge of how to become a Nishkam Karmi. So in the 4th section of this chapter specifically, Lord is very categorically saying different type of yagyas and different type of varnashram dharma systems through which you can work also, but you can work like a sannyasi, means work is not binding you. So this is how that is the reason why this sannyas word is there in this chapter. And then when we discuss next week, next chapter, again same question will start, that what should I do? Should I leave everything or should I fight? So still Arjuna is not very clear. And we are so fortunate that we also get to hear what Lord is going to give answer. And next week it becomes more clear that why we have to follow Lord Krishna's teachings, and how he very beautifully, first time I should say in the history of Hinduism or Indian theology, that someone beautifully actually uh, makes one understand that what is the connection between Gyan, Karma. This connection was very loose. If you read Vedas, it is not very clear what should one do. And that's why Buddhism, it became very prominent in India, and everybody was renouncing everything because people misunderstood actually Vedas. So sannyas is a very deep topic. That theme will come again in the next chapter, so we'll go more in its depth. Madam, you want to comment something more about today's chapter, your take home message, or your how you understand it?
Asking to me?
Yes, ma'am. Asking to you because you are actually more qualified to speak
No,
here.
not at all qualified. I had
And
just started since
somehow
3
it is
years.
your actually benevolent nature that you come and listen to someone like me who doesn't know
No,
anything.
not at all, sir. नहीं, बहुत अच्छा, आपने हर चीज को बहुत ही अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन किया है और कुछ भी कहने लायक नहीं। सिर्फ मुझे संन्यास इसीलिए कि बहुत सारे जो आपने बताया जो बुद्धिज्म क्यों आया, क्योंकि वेदों ने जो यज्ञ वगैरह बताया और उसको बुद्धिज्म लोगों ने कंडेम किया ना,
Yes,
बुद्धिस्टों ने,
ma'am. Yes.
तभी से लोगों ने यज्ञ वगैरह बंद करके, यज्ञ यानी खाली वो हवन ही समझते रहे हैं,
हाँ
जो कि इसमें अनेक प्रकार के डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ कर्म बताए, वो यज्ञ बताए हुए हैं। दान को यज्ञ बताया है, कर्म को बताया है, और प्राणायाम को भी इवन जो कर्म बताया है,
जब को भी यज्ञ
और
बताया मैम।
हाँ
जब
द्रव्य
यज्ञ।
को भी बताया है, और बहुत डिफरेंट टाइप के। उसमें सबसे ज्यादा श्रेयस जो है बताया, ज्ञान यज्ञ बताया हुआ है।
यस मैम।
इसीलिए तद्विधि प्रणिपातेन 34 श्लोक बताया, तद्विधि प्रणिपातेन, क्योंकि ज्ञान यज्ञ ही है जिससे कि आप अपने सारे पुराने भी जो कर्म है उसको भी भस्म कर सकते हो, और अगर ये ज्ञान प्राप्त हो ही जाता है तो आगे भी ऐसे कर्म ही नहीं करेंगे। इसलिए बताया ना, नहीं ज्ञानेन सदृशम पवित्रमिद विद्यते तत्स्वयं योग संसिद्ध कालेन आत्मने विन्दति। इसीलिए बताया कि श्रद्धा से ही ये सब हम, जब श्रद्धा होगी तभी हम ये सब कर्म, और उसके साथ साथ श्रद्धा के बाद ही फिर ज्ञान। अगर आपकी श्रद्धा पहले बैठती है किसी चीज में, तभी उसके लिए ज्ञान प्राप्ति के लिए आप आगे बढ़ते हैं। एक बार अगर ज्ञान आता है तो इससे आपको लाभ ही लाभ है, इस ज्ञान से बोलते हैं, और ये लाभ कैसा है, तुरंत ही मिलता है। और इस इसका लाभ का क्या असर है, लाभ इन द फॉर्म ऑफ शांति। शांति के फॉर्म में आपके जीवन में जो है वो शांति मिलती है। धन्यवाद प्रभु जी।
थैंक यू।
मैं आपसे ज्यादा कुछ नहीं बता सकती हूँ, आप इतना बढ़िया बोलते हैं।
नहीं
और
नहीं
आप नहीं, आप बहुत ही ज्यादा, बहुत बढ़िया। जय श्री कृष्ण।
Jai Shri Krishna. Thank
जय
you,
श्री
madam.
कृष्ण।
Thank you.
थैंक
So,
यू।
madam has very nicely summarized for all of us that actually faith is very important. Faith ही स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट है भक्ति का। फेथ ही स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट है गुरु महाराज में से नॉलेज मिलने का, उनकी मर्सी के फ्लो होने का। फेथ बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है, और भगवान उसी पे अभी काम कर रहे हैं अर्जुन के फेथ पर, ताकि अर्जुन को ये फेथ हो जाए कि यस एज ए क्षत्रिय ही शुड फाइट। सो दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट। जैसे मैडम ने भी कहा कि बुद्धिज्म का इन्फ्लुएंस हमारे यहाँ इसीलिए बढ़ा, उसका रीजन था कि जो ब्राह्मणास थे वो वेदों के नाम पे इवन काऊ सेक्रीफाइस भी कर रहे थे, एंड दे वर ईटिंग मीट आल्सो। दिस इज देयर रिटर्न, आई एम नॉट सेइंग समथिंग फैब्रिकेटेड। तो वेदों का इतना मिसयूज हो रहा था कि भगवान स्वयं आए बुद्ध के अवतार के रूप में। भगवान के 10 अवतार में एक अवतार बुद्ध है, और वो आए और उन्होंने क्या बोला, वेदों को त्याग दो, वेद को छोड़ दो और शांति की तरफ चलो। और मैक्सिमम लोग बुद्ध के फॉलोअर बन गए, और उनके आगे के फॉलोअर्स के फॉलोअर बन गए, और एक ऐसा समाज में सिस्टम आ गया कि ये वर्णाश्रम सिस्टम पूरा ध्वस्त होने वाला था, और हर कोई यंग व्यक्ति जो है वो बुद्ध के इन्फ्लुएंस में संन्यास लेने जा रहा था। तो क्या होता समाज का? तो फिर भगवान को, सिस्टम को, जैसे कोई, इसको ऐसे समझ सकते हैं कि कोई बच्चा बहुत उत्पाती हो, बहुत हल्ला कर रहा हो, तो पेरेंट्स क्या बोलते हैं, शांत बैठ जाओ। तो शांत बैठने का अर्थ ये नहीं कि वो जीवन भर शांत बैठेगा, शांत बैठने का अर्थ है अभी शांत बैठ जाओ। ऐसे ही बुद्ध ने आके बोला शांत बैठो, ध्यान लगाओ, ताकि हम एक स्टेप आगे बढ़े रियलाइजेशन में। और फिर शंकराचार्य के रूप में जब भगवान स्वयं उनके शक्त्यावेश अवतार आए तो उन्होंने फिर से वेद की प्रतिष्ठा कर दी और उन्होंने बुद्धिज्म का खंडन कर दिया। तो इस प्रकार से हमारी स्पिरिचुअल एक तरह की इवोल्यूशन हुई है। Yes. So very nice to understand, very deep history it is there. So we will end here today. If someone has any query, any question, we can speak, or else we will end here. So I'm thankful to each one of you for attending this session regularly. Vancha kalpatarubhesha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. Thank you so much.